Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. Inshallah, today we're going to be doing video number 19. And we're going to be continuing with, of course, the words that are most repeated in the Quran. So our goal is, inshallah, to cover all of this and then to be able to understand the Quran directly, inshallah, as we recite, and we can recognize these words that we've been working on so far. And inshallah, you guys have to do your own part. I can only do so much and give you all the information, but you also have to put in the time and the effort, inshallah, and try to memorize these words as much as you can, or at least try to read them, daily as much as you can. Because if we just take notes and just kind of put them away and then don't go over them again, we're not going to remember them unless we're, some of us have that special, photographic memory that they can look at it one time and then just remember everything. But most of us are not like that. So we just want to make sure that we can, just review these words so we can, inshallah, understand quickly and better, so we can start reciting the Quran. All right. So today, again, we're going to be talking about words that are like, that has to do with like the last day, things that are coming, like qiyamah and akhirah and sa'a and things like that. So, but all right, so we're going to talk about today the first word we're talking about. It's sahib. Sahib. And also the plural, ashab. So this would be the plural. So what does this mean? This means companion, friend, fellow. Also, it would be like your followers. So there's a lot of meaning to this word. I'm going to get rid of this because this is not working very well. Okay. So we talked about sahib, or the plural would be ashab, and root is sahaba, ashab. Like we know when we talk about the Prophet ﷺ, we always say the sahaba or the ashab. Meaning sahaba, what are we referring to here? That it means the companions that were with him or that they were following him. So those are referred to as sahaba. And then so the plural would be ashab, and then singular is sahib. And of course, these are the words that are coming in the Quran. So we have an example here. It says قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره يحاوره. And then it goes on. So we're gonna highlight our word here, sahibu. But notice that sahibuhu, there's the pronoun that is attached. So inshallah, going forward, I'm gonna point out things that we've kind of like covered so far, that we've studied so far, such as like pronouns. We talked about pronouns in the beginning of our classes when we first started. The attached pronouns and detached pronouns that come on their own, like huwa, or home or kum and things like that. And sometimes then they're attached to a word. So in this case, who is attached to sahib here. So That's just to kind of point these things out. So it says قال له, his companion. So this is from Surah Kaf, and it's talking about that the two guys that were walking, towards his garden. One of the guys had like this massive garden, and he was like boasting about his garden and whatnot. And so it's this kind of, they were talking about it, and so one of them says to the other, basically one of his friends says, to the one that has the garden. قال له, he said to him, to his friend صاحبه, وهو يحاوره, while they were basically basically they were having like a conversation, kind of going back and forth. They're talking. And then of course the ayah continues to something else, but our example was for the صاحبه. And I think it says أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب. So it goes on that it says, do you not believe in the one who has created you from turab, from dust? And because the guy was boasting too much about his garden, that that I don't think this is going to ever disappear, and if even if it does, I will find it much better with God up there. So he was like talking like that, but his companion, he was a humble person. He was telling him that, like, calm down. But anyways, that's not the point. Let's see. What do we have here? The next word, I'm trying to see if I have something else. Okay, the next word we have is, sorry, took me a few seconds to make sure I didn't want to skip anything. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these so I have space to write the next word. The next word would be عاقبة. عاقبة. And also the word عقاب is in here. So the root is وعقبة. Okay. Iqab means عاقبة means like the end of, basically, remember we talked about in the beginning, we said these words, most of them has to do with the end of times. So عاقبة means like the end of time, when everything is finished. And iqab also means like actually we're coming to that. I'm just jumping ahead, but anyhow, iqab is there. So example we have here from the Qur'an is, let's see, yeah, that's just right here. فانظر فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين. عاقبة المكذبين. Write it over here. المكذبين. مكذبين. Okay. Here's sometimes in the Quran, you might want to have to pay attention and see how it's written sometimes like this separately, and then sometimes in the Quran you see words that are that's written kind of like this. It's like everything's together, it's not separated, but you see the little alif there, so that means ayn alif, so you read it as aqibas, but it's kind of written together, so just kind of pointing that out to make sure. So here the translation would be فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that obviously there's something before it, and it says فانظر, meaning then look, how was the end of those who were mukadhib, meaning the people that lied, didn't believe, all of that kind of falls here. So that they rejected the message. So we have another, I have the example here for iqab. Hopefully I can fit it in here, and it's a long one. Let's see. Let me write this in a different color. Otherwise, we're gonna think this is all running together. Okay. So iqab, we said it meaning sorry, I'm sorry. Let's see. We already wrote that one. Aqiba meaning end. The meanings. Iqab is like retribution or punishment or punish. Okay. So we have inna rabbaka lazu maghfiratin lazu maghfiratin wa ذو عقاب bin alim. Alimin. Okay, and then it stops there. Okay, so here is the word that we're looking for. عقاب. So we read it as inna rabbaka ladhu maghfiratin wa dhu iqabin alim. And no doubt, surely your Lord, ladhu maghfirah, meaning he is the owner of forgiveness, meaning he is the ultimate, he has the ultimate maghfirah. So he has maghfirah, meaning forgiveness, and at the same time, wa dhu iqabin alim, and also he is, as he is so forgiving, but at the same time he is very like severe in taking account in the punishment. Okay. All right, so I will go ahead and erase this, and then inshallah we'll come back with the clean board. All right, so the next word is azab. And this is punishment. See if I can use a different color here. Wa qina azab bannar. Okay. There's something before that, and of course we read this all the time. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And so here it means waqina, meaning and save us, protect us, save us the punishment of the fire. Azab an-nar, nar is here, it's the meaning means fire, and of course azab means punishment. Okay, so let's see. We already talked about our iqab, so that's coming up. So we did that. So the next word would be qiyama. Here the root is the ba. Then we have qiyama. qiyama. All right. I think it's those are the root. I know you're probably wondering where the wow come from, but if you guys remember a while back, we discussed it, and I mentioned that sometimes in the Arabic grammar, um, like alif, wow, yeah, sorry, wow and yeah sometimes is converted into alif depending on the situation. Um, it goes some through some changes, like if it's becoming into like a verb. This gets a little bit more deeper, but just kind of keep that in mind that sometimes if you're seeing a wow or maybe an alif or a yeah, so kind of keep that in mind if you think that, oh, there was a wow in here, but where did this come from? I don't see it in the original. So just remember that maybe it went through some changes and it was maybe sometimes it's dropped or sometimes it gets changed into alif. So uh, so here, like it would be qawama. So when you're saying it, qawama, qawam, it's more, it doesn't flow. So instead of you say qawama, see, qawama, it's more prettier that way instead of qawama. So that's why sometimes it goes through certain, like gets tweaked a little bit. But anyways, so the word is qiyama. Qiyama means the end of time, the akhirah qiyama, the last day, and also it means resurrection, to stand up again, like the word qama, qiyam. It comes from here because you're standing, you're getting up, you're standing. Um, like when we stand for qiyam in the month of Ramadan, after hours, whatever, throughout the night, you're standing, so that is qiyam. And qiyama meaning also it's resurrection because everybody's standing up again. Everybody's coming out from the graves, so everybody's standing. It's qiyama. Qiyama, and then we have there's so many in the Quran, of course. Uh, I'm going to write this one here for the example that we have. Change markers. لا يجمعنكم. لا يجمعنكم. لا يجمعنكم إلى يوم القيامة. يوم القيامة. قيامتي لا ريب فيه. So it stops. Of course, there's something before it, and then there's something after it, but we're just stopping here so we can just give the example of qiyamah here. And of course, this word is repeated many times in the Quran. And like I mentioned just a minute ago, I see here the word al-qiyamah. It's written, everything's kind of written together in one word, where sometimes it's written separately. So just kind of keep this in mind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that la yajma'annakum. I just want to point something out here because subhanallah, when we read when we read the Quran and we have to refer to English translation, it does not do it justice because there's so much is lost. That is why we are studying the Quran, because we want to understand the intensity of the words that are coming directly, because you can't translate that in English. You can only so much um, put emphasis on something, but it doesn't have that meaning. It doesn't have that punch, you know? So here, I'm just going to point something here so we can keep that in mind. Like in this word, basically, the root word will be here, jama'a, to gather, right? Jama'a, to gather. But there's so many things here. La is attached here. This is for emphasis, you know? I know this is not our lesson, but I'm just pointing this out because it's very interesting. And we miss these things when we recite the Quran and you just read the translation, you're like, we will gather. Okay, that's fine, but if you actually understand the Arabic of it, then you will understand, like, oh my God, what is God telling us here? La yajma'an, see this noon here with the shadda on it. So this is another emphasizing mechanism, I should say, in this word. So why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do this? See, when we read this in just regular and we read the translation, we will gather them. It doesn't have that much of a, punch to it. It's like it doesn't grab you. But when you're actually directly reading the Arabic itself, as a student of, knowledge and a student of the Quran, this becomes so, it just blows your mind that, oh my God, look at what Allah is doing. La, one emphasis. Noon mushaddada is another emphasis. So basically, when you're reading this, you're like, oh my God, this is telling us that for sure, definitely, there's no doubt. That's what it means, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gather everybody. Definitely. La yajma'annakum. For sure, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt in it. And then again, of course, look over here. La rayba fi. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying it again here, that there's no doubt. There's no doubt. So the translation here is, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but it says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for sure, definitely, we will gather them ila yawm al-qiyamah, on the day of qiyamah, the day of resurrection. On that day when there is la rayba fi, there's no doubt in it. There's no confusion about that. It is happening. It is coming. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is for sure, no doubt, He is gathering all of us back together. Okay? Okay, so let me erase some of this. Okay. Let me see if I have space for, yeah. Basically, our next word would have been yawm. Here. Yawm. Yawm means day. Day. So we already have the example here. Yawm. So I don't need to give you another one. So it's like ila yawm al-qiyamah, on the day of resurrection. Yawm meaning day. Okay. I will erase this and we will come back. Okay. Next word is liqa. This means meeting. Meeting. Okay, example we have root is, oops, sorry. Hamza, lam, qaf, and hamza. So the example we have, فمن كان فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه okay, this is فليعمل يعمل and then it goes on. Excuse me. So our word is here لقاء. Okay, like I said, liqa means meeting, and then here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ. And so whoever has the desire, yarju, meaning they want, they have that desire, they need, they want to meet his Lord, Rabbihi, to meet his Lord, then فليعمل, then you need to do amal, meaning do action, فليعمل عملا صالحا, and then I think the ayah goes on فليعمل عملا صالحا. So that means you do good work, you do good things, you have to do, your actions basically speaks louder than anything. So you can say that I will do this, I will do that, and no, but you have to do it, and then your action will, this is how you get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here Allah is saying that فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ, and whoever wants to, you have the desire to meet his Lord, then he has to start doing things, get busy. Okay, the next word we have is musamma. Musamma. Musamma is for meaning like fixed. And it has to do with like time period. So it's something that's fixed. All right, we have example. كل يجري لأجل أجل مسمى. Okay, it stops here, but then it continues. Here is the word musamma. Okay, so we said it's a fixed, something that's fixed already. Musamma. كل يجري لأجل مسمى. Everything يجري, meaning that it's going. But I think this ayah was talking before. They were talking about the night and the day and the sun and the moon and all of that. They're all going. They're doing their stuff. كل يجري. They keep flowing or rotating or whatever is happening. This is happening لأجل مسمى, for a fixed time. Ajal meaning also meaning that something that is time related. So when the time comes, when the ajal comes, then it'll happen. So it means the time is fixed. Okay. I think we have space for one more word here. The word is nar. I think here the root is seen. Yeah, I believe. Excuse me. Okay, so this we have okay, and we have nar. We said it's fire. And the example we have okay, خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. And it stops there. Okay. So here's the word nar. You might be wondering why is there that on top of it here, and that becomes like a tajweed rule. So when you have a noon and then followed by another noon, so you merge them together. So therefore they put the shadda on it. So then you read it all together. The noons basically have, there's 3 noons here, this noon, and then there's 2 noons here, and then everything gets merged together. So min narin. So that's how you read it. But this is the conversation of shaitan, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking him, like, why didn't you bow down to Adam alayhi salam? And then there's something before it, and it continues, and then he says, خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. You have created me, shaitan is saying, you have created me from now, from fire, like smokeless fire. وخلقته, meaning who goes back to Adam alayhi salam, and he says, well, and you have created him from min طين, from dirt, from dust. All right, I think we're running out of space here. I will go ahead and erase the board, and then we have, inshallah, I think 3 more words, and then we'll be done with this session. All right, next word is nahar. Nahar. And this means river, and the plural would be anhar. Okay, so the example I have here, let's change the markers. وفجرنا وفجر فجرنا خلالهما نهرا. Okay, stops there. Here's our word. Again, you're probably wondering why there's an alif here and there's no alif here. Again, this has to do with tajweed rules. It takes a different meaning. So, I mean, the meaning is the same. It means river, but in the sense of, is this, is this the detail of the sentence? If it's in marfu or mansub state, so that has to do with that part. So it takes an alif and then the fathatain. But anyways, and then of course there's something before it, and it says وَفَجَّرْنَا خِلَالَهُمَا نَهْرًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, and then we made gush forward from the surrounding, from the midst of it, nahra, meaning river. And I think this is from Surah Kahf, if I'm not mistaken. It's taken from there. All right. Next word is wailun or wail. Okay. Wail. Okay, so the example I have, wail, it's a word that means like woe. Woe. A word of, sometimes it's used like for sorrow, sometimes it's used for like how horrible this is, how bad it is. Woe to you. Wailul lil mukaththibin. We read that sometimes. So here I have another example from the Qur'an. Wailul likulli kulli humazatil lumaza. Stops here. Okay. Here is our word. Wail. And wailul likulli humazatil lumaza. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that woe to likulli, to each and every one of the slanderer and backbiter, gossiper, gossip monger. And humaza is someone who slanders, gives somebody a bad name for no reason. You just start talking behind their back, or you just putting something out there that's not true about someone, and that's slander. So you're bringing the character of that person down, or you're trying to blemish their character, or whatever it might be. Or and then lumaza, it's something that it's gossip. Someone that they want to themselves engage in gossiping, or they're listening. They're in the conversation that other people are gossiping, and you're still there and listening. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a warning. It says wail, woe, meaning be aware, woe to those person. Likulli humazatil lumaza, to each and every one of those people that are slanderers and backbiters. All right, the next word we have is, I think the last one, yes, is yawma idhin. Yawma idhin. Yawma idhin. Meaning that day. That day. Okay, so the example I have here, al-mulku, 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 yawma idhil, lillahi, yahkumu bainahum. And then it stops, but the ayah continues. Okay, so our word is here, yawma idhin. Al-mulku yawma idhin lillahi. Actually, there's like a little pause there. Yahkumu bainahum. So if we translate it, we start from, I can, I guess, translate it in different ways. The kingdom on that day belongs to Allah. So he yahkum, meaning he will decide between them. He will judge between them. Or you can say the other way, on that day, the kingdom will belong to Allah. And then so that he judges between them. So there's a little bit different ways that you can probably translate that. But anyways, so let's quick review, inshallah, before we finish the video. We said sahib, meaning like companion or followers, companion, a friend. Aqiba, meaning the end of time. Uh, yeah, azab is punishment. Iqab is like retribution, punishment. Qiyamah is resurrection. Liqa is meeting. Musamma is fixed time. And nar is fire. Nahar and anhar is plural. Nahar is river. Anhar is rivers. Wail means woe unto you or something. Wow, woe. Yom is day, and sorry, I forgot to mention ayam is plural for days. And then the last thing is yawma idin, meaning that day. All right, until next video. Assalamu alaikum.